I declare under the aforementioned penalties that I am a lawful inheritor, landlord, keeper, and guardian of the rightful and lawful government of this country, acting with full right, authority, responsibility, and honor now and always. And my tenure on earth shall last. And I present this declaration of the Naturalization Act of 1779 and place it upon the public record. Okay, so I sent my paperwork off to Anchorage, Alaska, because he says in this video, and I'll put the link in the bio, that you should go to your county and record it. But the county refuses to record it because they are part of the shenanigans.
Welcome to the Unveiling Shadows podcast. I'm your host, Kimberly Mosby. Join me as I dive into powerful stories of resilience and strength. In each episode, I sit down with guests who have faced similar journeys of coercive control, financial manipulation, and personal invasion. Together, we uncover the shadows, share our experiences, and inspire others to reclaim their lives. Tune in, listen, and be a part of the community that stands tall against the forces that seek to control us.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Unveiling Shadows podcast. I'm your host, Kimberly Mosby. And today we're going to watch this video that was sent from one of my viewers named Jay. He is a tortured individual is what he calls himself. And we know that it's a lot about the track, trace, and torture program. You could refer to it as that. The triple T is what my friend Joe called it. So I'm going to share my screen with you and let's dive into this. This will be my first video linking in American state, national, and becoming sovereign.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody, or wherever you are in the world. Greetings to you. I am honored to have James Martinez on, who has been researching MK Ultra going back to the 1970s. He's a media ecologist, radio personality, a pioneer in disruptive tech and their effects on culture and human awareness, author. And I mean, your bio would take like 5 minutes to read. You've accomplished so much in your lifetime. So we really appreciate you coming on. And viewers, if you've got any questions for James, please put them in the chat. And we've got James's X link and Patreon link at the top of the YouTube description box as well. So, what brought you into this field, James?
Well, it's a long story, and I never commercialized myself to be in this position. I was one of the original MK Ultra whistleblowers. I wasn't in the program. I exposed an aspect of the program. My colleague was the first guy, which most people don't even know. His name was Walter Bauert. He wrote the 1978 book Operation Mind Control, which was the exposure of the church of neuroscience, technology, and behavior modification programs being used by the United States on civilians. So I came into this area and he became my business partner and kind of best friend because of an aspect of that neuroscience that was being utilized on civilians in the United States for the faking of alien abductions, which was going on in the 80s. So this area way back then, and this is in the 90s when all of this was going down and my involvement, I was introduced to Walter Bauert, and he currently had all the neuroscience and technology that allowed all these programs to be working, which is basically creating the template map of where we are today by creating what Jose Delgado would call a psycho-civilized society. So I was introduced to him, and I brought in a missing piece of what that neuroscience was being used for in culture. Now remember, this is many, many years ago. I was sort of behind the national security curtain when I was 20. in this particular area. And this particular area was the pinnacle of technology that was the end goals of what we are seeing presently today. So what I did was kind of by advisors that I had at that time, because I was very young, I did more listening than talking. I was essentially cajoled or pushed or suggested to go into the area that would ultimately um, decentralize all of this abuse that we're undergoing. And that was in the energy sector. So, if people look me up, they'll find related stuff to Operation Mind Control, but they'll also find an enormous amount of my activity in the energy sector, specifically with coal fusion. So this is what's really happened, and what I've seen all over the web, all over the place, is um, a lot of catching up the public is doing. I mean, initially, the module of communication that was respected at that time was the book. And when Special Researcher's Edition, which I published with him and paid for, and they made minimal copies at that time. And it was the follow-up of all the neuroscience and effects of this behavior modification that was being utilized on the public at that time. So I had access to all the major freedom fighters in the world, really, at that time, that were behind the national security curtain. One of them was Colonel Fletcher Prouty. People recognize that name from he played Mr. X in JFK's Oliver Stone. He was the Air Force colonel that ran JFK's all his black operations, and you'd be surprised how much he knew way ahead of everybody else about an array of topics, including the extraterrestrial one, the financing of all global operations for black projects, how it was being done, all the neuroscience associated with where we were headed as a species. And it's because of all this and years and years of the commercialization of this subject matter, which basically came from us. We never made money. Our goal was never to make money. It was to educate the public and get them ready for what they're about to deal with right now, which is basically an extinction level event of the likes of nothing we've ever understood or dealt with before. And when people hear this, and they'll go, well, wait a minute, what are you talking about? I'm talking about the end of your normal, organic, cognitive liberty perceptual process. Not to corner you or criticize you at all, but when I look at you in the video, I see your placement of these devices here. Okay, that is what in the technological world and business world will be retrofitting via microescalation technology to the user to prepare them for what's about to happen, because the cell phones were originally designed to get the human nervous system ready for interruption, pattern interruption, and also training for telepathy. So the reason I came on and did this, because we're in a huge, monolithic crisis and situation. Everybody is completely, totally misdirected, and all the media environments have what's relevant versus what you're seeing. And the whole world is concerned about the pedophiles and Epstein and all that. And if you were to calibrate what's the most important thing going on, it's never what you're seeing, and it's never what's discussed. Because in the United States, that country ended in 47 when they initiated the National Security Act of 47. It basically chopped it off, and there's people behind it. They're in tune with the real world, which is Star Trek level, and then everybody else in Disneyland. So it was suggested and encouraged by people that I'm working with that are in the brain-computer interface world to prepare the public to essentially, maybe for the first time for some, to reclaim their right to exist, reclaim their right to free thought, reclaim their right for their own management and technology and cognition processing, to claim their right as co-creators of God, to claim their right to be here. If you're here, you're supposed to be here by design. And this is essentially a pep talk and a way of informing the public through your medium here in a space here, cyberspace, to make their declarations with the courts and with the elected employees that are aiding and abetting this process right now. So that's why I'm coming and doing this, because I'm heavily involved and have been involved behind the scenes for a very long time. I don't belong to any political group. I'm a lone wolf. I work alone by contract only. I've already made declarations in the United States in the county recorder's office and with the UCC about the declaration of my own neurocognitive rights because of what's going on. When I saw you covering some of the effects of MK Ultra, specifically with the gentleman out of Dallas talking about dissociative identity disorder, who we were dealing with a long time ago, very nice guy.
Okay, so let me stop sharing this and I'm going to share with you my declaration. I probably have my UCC filing paperwork somewhere as well that I can show you. So what he's talking about is becoming sovereign. So I will share my declaration and we will look at it together. Okay, I am going to read it to you just so you know what it says in case you're driving and you can't read it. Says Declaration of the Naturalization Act of July 1779. I declare that I am the owner and the operator of my vessel on earth from the moment my zygote first formed together with all DNA and all substance matter in any way associated with me and my incarnation. And I further declare that I accept my divine origin, all honor, right, title, and material interests I am owed. I declare my political status as an American state national born with the physical borders of Montana. I declare under penalty of perjury under the public law of the United States of America and from without the United States and without the United States of America territories that I reject, renounce, and remove all powers of attorney granted by me or issued under my name prior to this day. I declare under penalty of perjury under the public law of the United States of America and from without the United States and without the United States of America territories that I reject, renounce, and remove all and any allegiances to any king or prince, any foreign state, foreign government, flag, or thing. I declare under penalty of perjury under the public law of the United States of America and from without the United States and without the United States of America territories that I have never knowingly, willingly, and voluntarily pledged myself to any incorporated entity at all, including but not limited to any incorporated church, synagogue, mosque, or temple. I declare under penalty of perjury under the public law of the United States of America and from without the United States and without the United States of America territories that I have never knowingly, willingly, or voluntarily pledged myself to any foreign sovereign or separated myself from my birthright political status. I declare, publish, and affirm under penalty of perjury under public law of the United States of America and from without the United States and without the United States of America territories that my house is established in Cameron County and my home is established in Texas, and no other presumptions or impersonations is allowed. I declare under the aforementioned penalties that I am a lawful inheritor, landlord, keeper, and guardian of the rightful and lawful government of this country, acting with full right, authority, responsibility, and honor now and always. And my tenure on earth shall last. And I present this declaration of the Naturalization Act of 1779 and place it upon the public record. Okay, so I sent my paperwork off to Anchorage, Alaska, because he says in this video, and I'll put the link in the bio, that you should go to your county and record it. But the county refuses to record it because they are part of the shenanigans. So the only real land recording office on the land is in Anchorage, Alaska. So I sent it to them. It takes about 45 days for them to return the recorded documents to you. So while you're waiting, after you get everything together, you can go on American State National's website. You can go onto State Nationals Rock. I don't care how you do it, but it should be done. And then while you're waiting on that, you can file your UCC-1 filings to claim back the rights of your capital letter name, which is how they hijacked you at birth. So I was birthed on October 18th, and they hijacked my name on October 19th. That's why they show 2 dates on your birth certificate, because that's the day that they registered you as an indentured debt slave into their corporate system, making you pay taxes and fund their wars for countless hundreds and hundreds of years. Like, you can start looking this stuff up and realize that we are living in a parallel universe, and I'm not going to get caught up in that BS that he's speaking about. So as always, I want you to stay strong, and we've got this.
Thank you for listening to the Unveiling Shadows podcast. I hope today's episode has shed light on the experiences that too often remain hidden. If you or someone you know has a story to share, please reach out to me. Remember, you're not alone and your voice matters. Follow me on social media and subscribe to the podcast for more inspiring stories. Until next time, stay strong and keep unveiling the shadows.